everybody. It's Monday morning. It's 8 o'clock, and it's that time of the week again. It's time for our latest episode. This week, our guest is another one of those guys who seems to have been around the game forever. His son is doing really well in the States at the minute as well. He's a personality. He's one of those people that you just gravitate towards when he's in the room. Ladies and gentlemen, it's Rick Leonard.
Right now. Hey everybody, welcome to the Shot Clock Podcast with me, Jared Jago. Today's guest is an Irish basketball legend, somebody I've been privileged to play with and play against during my career, somebody who bet me around when I was a young 20-year-old, and he was a body and he knew what to do with it. Former Tralee, Neptune, Killarney, and recently Garvey's Warriors, and my Dublin Masters teammate, Mr. Ricardo Leonard. Welcome to the podcast, Rick. How are you?
I'm all right, man. How you doing? Thanks, man. Thanks for having me.
No problem. I had to get you on. How are you finding this COVID thing? Everything good?
Look, everything's great, man. It is what it is, man. We all got to do our part to keep safe. And, it does get boring at times, but, we got to do what we got to do. We're in, I'm an SNA now as well. So, that keeps me going a bit by doing a few Zoom sessions and stuff online with the young kids. So my day isn't just, get up and stay at home. So I had to get up and prepare some reading lists and things like that. So, look, I keep busy a few days a week by doing some Zoom sessions with the young kids in school. Other than that, I'm just missing basketball.
Yeah, missing that hoop. So the podcast is basically, we're going to try and get to know Rick Leonard a little bit better. It's not X's and O's, it's not breakdowns, it's about you and your career here in the Irish Super League.
No problem, man.
Before Super League, young Rick Leonard, who, what, or why inspired you to pick up a basketball?
Well, look, man, in my years as a social care worker, and I work with a lot of youth, and I don't have a problem telling my story about that. He recently passed away about a year or two ago. He was a mentor in he does a job sort of like what Garth McGuire does up in Belfast. You know what I mean? A youth, working with the youth in the community. And I was just a knucklehead, really, man. I was just a knucklehead. I hit a growth spurt at about 13 to 14. And I only really started playing basketball at about 14, right? And I hit that growth spurt, and there was a community center that opened up right behind the apartment building that I lived in, Arthur Capers, right? And he was the outreach worker, and he came and he was like, man, you gonna stop getting in trouble, man. And he told me, like, you're 6'4", 6'5", man. You get spotted, you gonna be spotted at 14. Like, where you going? So he brought me in, man, and he gave me my first kind of real lessons in basketball. And from there, it was just like a gift to me. I kind of naturally athletic a bit, and I had a good head on my shoulder, besides from being, led astray, as I say, led astray, but that was it. As a young fella growing up, in the heart of Washington, D.C., man, look, we got in a bit of trouble every now and then. I'm just thankful I didn't get into anything too serious. And I started playing from there. And I started playing basketball with him. And then I started working with him, and I started giving back. I started, giving back to the community then, talking to other kids. And, from that point on, it was just basketball and community work, and basketball and community work. And and that's what I still try to do now. Talk to the young ones, and look, man, this basketball is a blessing, really.
Yeah, very, very true. It's great to hear that. Even after all these years, you're still continuing the cycle. You're still doing the same thing now.
It's a cycle, man. Look, I wish I could get home more often, but and back to the community. But still, there's a lot to do here through sport, not necessarily in basketball. Like I said, for years I was a social care worker before being an SNA. I still do a bit a social care work on the side as well. But you know, just introducing sport and keeping active and doing something else, you know, to young people and kids. I mean, you know, it's a blessing, you know, and a healthy distraction.
Yeah, very, very well put. So, as I said, you start your career with Tralee. You moved around. You went to Austria. You went to the UK. You came back, had a couple of stints with Neptune, a short stint with Killarney, and then finished up playing with Garvey's Tralee Warriors recently. So you've played, and you played in an era of Irish basketball, the golden age. Like, without a shadow of a doubt, when you played, it was the golden age of Irish basketball. So here's a tough question for you, because I'm sure you've had a lot of good teammates. But who's your favorite teammate and why?
My favorite teammate, man. Whoa, that's a tough one. But I'm gonna tell you what, man. As a guy, and I'm a cheat, man, because it's gonna be two. I'm a cheat. I'm sorry, man. It's like one and a half, maybe two. Right? My guy, he was my best man at my wedding. Right? Vinnie Murphy. He doesn't get mentioned much in any of the basketball forums or whatever. But he was probably one of the smartest players that I've played with, right? And we just had a connection on the court that was great. We had the chemistry together. He knew that he can pass me the ball anyway, anyhow. I go get it. He knew that if he got open or if I was double teaming, he made the right move, I get him the ball, and you know, we just had, like I said, we have a connection, and we still do. Like I said, he was my best man at my wedding. He's actually Ryan's godfather, and we were close like that. And if I had to throw in then just another player now, I would throw a player now, a player that I play and go to battle with, John Tien. All right, John Tien was a guy that I knew where he'd be on the floor. He knew if he was in that spot, he'd get the ball, and I knew if I gave him the rock, it was money. It was money, and he was going to work hard. You know, he was going to work hard. If I missed him, he wasn't going to begrudge. If I missed him, he'd go and if I missed him and shot it, he'd just go get it. He'd just go get it. You know what I mean? You go get it and come back down the court. Come on, Rick, yo, you missed me. Rick, hey, come on. I was like, yeah, I got you, yo, but I might have been feeling it too or something, you know. But we never, you know, on the court, though, we just balled out. So he'd be my second, you know, I'd say they'd be tied. I ain't gonna say first.
Two people who don't get enough mention at all.
No.
It's funny. John Tien, this is the second time John Tien's come up on the podcast so far. So I think I've recorded 6 episodes so far. You're number 7, and John Tien's come up. This is the second time that John's been mentioned.
He needs to be, with John, definitely, as far as playing wise, he needs to be up in there more. I'm telling you now.
Yeah, absolutely. So like I said, you played in the golden age of Irish basketball. You played against the likes of Diora, Lenny Max, JD, Terry Strickland, Jerome, Ed Randall. Look, it's the legends of Irish basketball you played against. So based on that, who's the toughest person you've had to guard in your time in the Super League? And who guarded you the hardest when you were playing?
The toughest person, let me see, the toughest person really, and if I'm being honest now, I still, you know, was Jenkins. All right. The tough, and the reason is I prided myself on defense. So no matter what, all my offensive prowesses and everything the gifts I had offensively, I still thought like my first year here averaged like somewhere crazy, this 35, 36 points a game, whatever that year. But I always had the mentality, you know, because I like to think myself as a student of the game. If I get 35, 36 and somebody get 37, yeah, I'm a loser. Like, hey, can't do it. So with Jenkins, you always had to step up because of his range. So I was only like used to running back, getting back in the paint, and if you get a guy, and most Americans here, that at the time, whatever, had bigs, Ed Randolph, Randall Mounts, all these guys, they were big. So they, it wasn't the fear of them stopping 2 feet inside the he was a Steph Curry. It wasn't the fear of him stopping 2 feet inside the halfway line and pulling up. So any other bigs, though, you meet him at the free throw line, but you had to be conscious of you running back, trying to get back on D. And next thing you know, he's coming up the court, trotting up the court, being 6'6", 6'7", and he's stopping at the hash. You'd be like, oh, God, I got to run out here, man. I got to run out here. And if you saying that, you're already too late. If you going,
that space, that shot's gone.
Yeah, you're going like, if you're like, oh God, I gotta run, that's gone. If you're something like, I ain't even gonna run. I'm gonna turn around, hope he missed. I can be able to get the rebound. But he was tough. I mean, like, it was so many. Like you talk about the golden era of basketball, right? And I was like, a story I tell down in Tralee, because people look at the documentary they had about the golden era of basketball, and they be like, yo, you wasn't in. I didn't see you. I was like, yeah, it focused more or less on the 80s or the late 80s and stuff like that. I said, but there was a few of those guys still playing when I was here. They didn't have me on it, but when I came in town, I ran all the rest of them old fuckers out of town. So I ran them all out. I was like, Kelvin, all those guys, yeah, they ain't even want to come back and play no more once they saw the big fella come in. So that's why they stopped playing. Him, Gerald, all those guys, they stopped playing because they heard this big guy down south.
There's a new sheriff in town.
That's what I say. That's my story, man. I'm sticking with it.
And who was your toughest defender? Who played you the toughest? Who was the guy you hated going up against?
I hated going up against Jerome and Ed. Right? I hated going up to them because they weren't athletic. They were smart, right? Very good positional defensive players. They would battle you, make it tough for you to get the ball. Like you be working. If I was on I'd be working to get that ball. And more times than not in my sweet, not that like anything like 15, 16, 17 foot in, I'm able to handle my own, but everybody has their sweet spots, right? They'd be like, no, you're not getting here. You're not getting to the elbow here or whatever, you don't get that 2 feet outside the elbow and just battle you and make it tough. I mean, they made it very tough for me. Now,
was Ed's birthday just before yours? The two of you are the same age, yeah?
Yeah, two of us the same, what?
Same age, yeah? No?
Nah, easy, big fella. Easy, eh?
But like
I'm still a young fella when it comes to Ed and Jerome and them. Now it's a testament to them. It's a testament to those guys. So they're 60, right? Ed and Jerome are 60. Now I'm 50. Come on now, leave. Yeah, that's hey. But it's a testament to them, the longevity and their playing and the way they keep their bodies. And I enjoy hanging out with them. And I missed the opportunity of actually playing with them last year. But hopefully it'll come. We all keep ourselves right, and we'll get there. But another player, just on that, I hated defensively, and he didn't mark me most of the time, right? Was Diora. He be the one lurking behind your defender, and him jumping out many nights. I didn't talk to the ref, watch him goaltending, ref. I'm shooting a 10-foot jump shot over my defender, and he coming from behind, like snatching it out the air, man. Come on, ref, that's goaltending. He had some unbelievable ups. And even at that, I mean, like, again, 93, I guess, I was 30. He was about 10 years older as well, but the legs and the length of him, oh my God.
Oh, he could jump out of the gym.
He jumped out the gym. So
absolutely.
He had the game plan right, though. I had to step out a bit and maneuver away from him, get his man to move away. But if he was around, you had to watch because he wasn't marking you, so you could lose focus of that. And next thing you know, you see this shadow coming, like, God, where is he at?
Unbelievable. Look, I was lucky enough. I was young coming into the league. I was 15, 16 when I came into the league. I remember going up against Terry Strickland in like my first game, and I remember sitting in the pub afterwards with him, going, "Man, I used to go and watch you play when I was a kid." And he literally just looked at me and just went, "Shh." And that was it.
Yeah. Hey, look, I enjoyed playing against Terry as well. Like I said, Terry, that first year, they were the only team we didn't beat, right? That year, my first year in Tralee, Vincent's. Now, the rules or whatever, I think Jerome was classified as Irish or whatever, and they had the two Americans, and we just couldn't get over that hump of having that second American. Now, in saying it, y'all, I'll tell it straight. I had 2 40-point games against them. We might have came up losing, in the end, but they were tough competitions, but we just didn't get over that hump of them having that extra American.
We'll get them in the Masters next year, don't worry. So, my thing is superstitions, pre-game rituals. Did you buy into the superstitions and pre-game rituals, or were you just a straight shooter, or were you like a JJ
I
Redick
had
who
no
had like
superstitions,
27
man.
things to
I had
do?
no pregame rituals. What, man? Just nah. I didn't really. I didn't put on my left shoe first or second shoe. Nah. I just went and played, man. It depends on the mood. It actually depended on who I was playing. Obviously I took, we all have those people we take extra, exception to, and we're like, and it could be sometimes where you might have a guy you were cool with on the other side, you know what I mean? And you can still have so I didn't, when it came to the ball going up, it's game time. And, I hit the next person, as quick as an enemy on the court. But as far as the ritual, nah, I come in the game, I get focused, by the time the tip off comes, it's what comes natural to you then. It was ready to go.
Excellent. Great answer. So you grew up in the States where sneakers were a huge part of everybody's life over there. The original Dr. J's, the Converse Dr. J's, you got the Adidas Kareems, and then all the way through to Jordans from 90 or 84 onwards. What were your favorite kicks? Had you got a signature pair? What were the Rick Leonard signature sneakers?
Now, well, I'll tell you what I love first. I like I said, I was a late bloomer in basketball. When I first started, I think my uncle then got me a pair of the Air Force Ones with the strap, right? So they, for a while, they were the big sneakers because they were huge, they were comfy, they were good. So from that point on, I've look, throughout my career, I can't, except for my 3 years and a couple of, in college, whatever, that I had to wear something outside of Nike. I've never wore anything outside of Nike playing wise. And that was Pony we had in college.
I wore Pony. I wore Pony for a couple of years.
Oh, wow.
And
But
they wear Pony.
My favorite though of all of them, and I had them for a long time, and recent or a bit was the LeBron 10. So now I'm a huge LeBron fan anyway. But the LeBron 7, I think there was LeBron 7 or whatever, and the KD 10s I had, and that was the KD 10s was the first pair of kind of low top that I wore. They weren't kind of, they weren't 3/4, but they weren't low. They were up on the ankles a bit. But I wore them. I got them because they look good, and I was like, okay, I can style in them. And then I was at the gym. I said, I'm gonna shoot around in them. Blah blah. Like, oh, these don't feel nice, right? And then I started wearing them, and they were fine. But you wouldn't find me in anything other than a Nike. Sorry, don't be advertising for Nike. Put this on there unless they give.
Keep mentioning we might be able to get a hookup. Who knows? Who knows? We see how popular this podcast.
Come on, Nike, Nike is it. Just do it, baby.
Rick Leonard says, just do it.
Just do it.
So, like I said, golden age of Irish basketball. It's you and 4 others We're going to the gym for a pickup.
You gonna do this to me, really? You gonna do this to me?
Oh yeah.
My God.
Who are we taking? Positionally.
All right. Okay. All right. Here we go. And I'm gonna have to, man. Look, I know it's not fair, but I'm gonna have to put some parameters there because a lot of players and a lot of people going to see this. A lot of my buddies that I play now and whatever going to see this, and they're gonna be like, "Yo, I was left out." No disrespect to anybody. So I'm gonna put down the parameters here. I'm going to keep it to only players that I actually played with. Because there's a lot of players that I would love to play with or would have loved to play with. You mentioned a few. I enjoy my buddy Gabe, right? I got a chance to play with him in the Masters. So he's my boy. I would have loved to play with him. Had epic battles against him. But was it Adrian Fortin? Would be another one that I would love to have played with and still would like to play with. But my four I'm taking with me, right? I'm taking John Tien, as I said before earlier. You know, he's the guy. He can do it all. You know, the great defender. Offensively, skill-wise, he can hit three. He can hit mid range, and he's a hell of a slasher. He knows where to be at the right time. Right. My guard, I'm gonna have to go with Stephen McCartney. Stadler from Neptune. All right. Smart, one of the smartest players, point guard, can shoot the ball, can pass the ball, can do it all. I'm gonna go with Mike Quirk.
Ooh.
I'm gonna go because you understand this, right? And I'm a huge component of this, right? Because I'm taking all of us in our prime, right? In my prime here now, I'm averaging 36, 37 points a game. I'm good on defense as well, right? But Mike Quirk is an outstanding any American that come through here about Mike Quirk and his defense, right? I can match him up against anybody. From three on up, I can match him with anyone. Right? And he was probably when he played in Tigers, I think I was gone, whatever, and Tigers were winning, he probably was the best rebounder in the league. Easy. So Mike Quirk is going my four man. Now the 3 spot is difficult, right? I had a couple of people in that, the 3 spot, right? Or the 3-4, because that's interchangeable between Mihal and whoever else is playing, because Mihal is a deadly. People don't understand the Mihal's range as well, 3-point range, inside moves. He had it all as well, and an excellent defender. Jermaine or Donahue. I have a sub. I'm cheating. Okay, one of them. I'm taking both of them.
We're taking a sub. Okay.
I'm taking a sub. So I got Donahue in because Donahue is that utility guy. He's smart, excellent defensively. He's crafty, around the basket. Again, movement, passing wise, his intelligence on the court is second to none, really, around on the court. So I'm going with Donahue, and I'm bringing in Jermaine to go. And it's no disrespect to anybody else I played with, but there we go. I think we'll be on the court for a while. Who got next?
That's a solid 5. Who got next? That's exactly it. Who got next? Excellent picks. There's nobody there that you can take away from.
Those are players, right? Again, I played with, and I still don't think they get enough respect. A good few of them. I know Jermaine, people talk about Jermaine because of his athleticism and all that, but I think he was more than that as well, right? But the other guys, Stutzer, John Tien, Mihal, and Kieran Donahue, I don't think they get enough respect.
I have to agree. So we're going to shift gears a little bit. We're going to talk music.
All right.
Top 5 musical artists of all time. Who is going to be on your playlist until the day you move on?
Wow. See, I'm from the old school now. Look, I'm gonna go, man. Because back when I was in college and all that, look, and I'm thinking my missus not on not on this YouTube channel, so she won't know too much. But I'm gonna keep it Michael Jackson. I got my Miss Anita Baker.
Oh, okay.
Then also the all-time favorites, man. I gotta go with Luther. I gotta go with Teddy P, and you know who I'm gonna go. I still like it. I like, look, I'm gonna bring it back to more realistic times here, modern times. 50 Cent. I'm gonna throw
Wow, from Luther to 50 Cent.
Hey, sometimes you just gotta go. You be smooth and everything and all that, but don't, people try to take your kindness as a weakness, right? And then you got to get thuggish, and then you throw in the 50. So there you go.
I like it. So sticking with music, we're in the gym, we're warming up. What are the last 3 songs we warm up to before we hit to the bench?
Ow.
What's getting
Okay.
you
All right.
pumped
I got it,
before?
man. It's easy. I got it. Because when I first came here, you know who I played with, right? I played with Tralee Tigers. You ever came down here with a Tigers game and warmed up? What was the song? You know the song?
Eye the Tiger.
You got it. Has to be the one. That's it. Yo, when we came first, you first think, okay, cheesy, right? But then when you feel that coming through, doom, 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 doom,
It
and
gave
you
you
hear
an
that,
extra couple of inches. In warm up.
doom, doom, doom. Yo, you be like, yeah, that's when when you talk about superstition and all that, that's when the serious face go, whoop, all right, it's game time now. It's kind of the last song right before that 3-minute buzzer hit, whatever. Doom, doom, doom. All right, like, yep, all right, it's game time. And then you want to have a bit of fun, the guys. So I always liked it when it came on, and especially if you had a couple of high flyers and blah blah blah. Is Van Halen's Jump? How about that?
Yep.
I get up. And we go on, you're having a good time. And then I think later on, what I used to like, man, I like, and this is when the game, when you ready, you play this, right? Is DMX, again, going thuggish. Bring it. Remember that song? Bring it. Yeah, we're right here. We're not going anywhere. Come on now. Yeah, we ready.
You're in charge of warm-up music for Masters this season.
Bring it, baby.
We got to get DJ Rick on the decks. So we talked about your time in Washington growing up. It could have gone either way for you. If you'd kept being a knucklehead, who knows where we would have gone. But here we are sitting here because of basketball and because of your mentor. What advice would you give to a 16-year-old Rick Leonard if you could sit him down right now and have a word with him?
Man, if I could have a word with him, I'd say, listen, man, you've been blessed with a second opportunity. Don't blow it, right? Don't blow it. Listen to your coaches. Be a bit more responsible for your own actions. You can go about blaming other people's or your hardships, or you didn't have this and you didn't have that. But as I said, you've been given a second chance. You've been blessed with talent. Use it in the right way, and don't forget where you came from.
Hey, that's solid advice. That's some solid advice right there. Right, so second last question. Dead or alive, 5 dinner guests we're having to your house tomorrow for dinner. Family, friends, famous, dead or alive, who's sitting down for dinner?
Let me see, who's sitting down for dinner? All right. This is a tough one, because you said 5 and this and that, but I'm gonna go with people that I looked up to, and I'm keeping it non-family related, because I can go on. There's a couple of people family-wise. So again, I'm setting parameters, man. It's cheating, but I'm on here, man. I can cheat, man. This is it, man. I'm a big fella. I can beat you. You can't beat me.
Yeah, I'm not going to fight with you. I'm not going to fight with you.
We got. All right. Obama. Right. Martin Luther King. Malcolm X. And then I'm going sporting wise because I'm a huge fan of them, and I have to sit down and talk to them. LeBron, and I'm on Kobe.
That's a serious table.
That's a serious table, and we're gonna grub out.
So yeah. What are we having for dinner? Are we cooking, or are we ordering in?
Man, we ordered nothing, man. See, this is where we get the cheat in because my mom's gonna be in this joint, right? Because she's like, yo, it's my house. So look, I'm here. I'm at the table too, huh? And we gonna whip up, man. I got mom's cooking up the soul food, right? Mom's cooking up the chicken. We got her mac and cheese. And we gonna have my grandma's macaroni and cheese. We gonna have my mom's potato salad, right? And there's an aunt of mine, my aunt of mine that make this serious fried chicken. Oh, I got the fam. We gonna order in. It's gonna be ordering in, but it ain't gonna be your typical order. I'm calling up the fam. This is where the family get involved in. I'm calling up the family. Like, look, I got this. I got Malcolm. I got Mark. Hey, listen, can you whip up some bean pies as well for Malcolm? Because he ain't eating no pork, right? Right. I'm just saying, it's all good, because we got to have the dishes, your Malcolm there, we can't be having no pork and stuff, and look, let's keep it real, right? But I love that conversation about where we were then. And again, I grew up in the 70s and 80s, whatever, in DC, and, with racial inequalities and all that, where we were then, from Obama, where we didn't came, not to where we got, because we kind of stepped off track there for 4 years. We're
back on track now, though. We're good.
Yeah, we hope so. We hope we're back on track. But and then obviously I had to have the sporting influence there in Kobe and LeBron. Again, I'm a huge fan of LeBron's, and people hate him, but I just think he's,
look, for what he does for social justice alone.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like that's a conversation right there. That's an unbelievable five. Possibly my favorite dinner guest list. You and Gabe are my two favorites so far. Gabe gave me some amazing guests as well. You'll be surprised who he said. I'm not going to say anything. You're going to have to tune in just to see who Gabe said.
All right.
Last question. And look, thank you so much for giving up your time first and foremost.
No problem, bud.
Great to chat with you again. Happy belated birthday. I missed the Zoom call the other night. But I can't wait to get back in the gym with you.
Oh,
you know what I mean? And play some ball. But our last question is, who would you like to see on the Shot Clock podcast, past or present Super League player?
You know what? Another player, right, I'd like to see, and again, the people out there would love him. You'd love him. He'd probably crack you up more than Gabe did, right? Is Roscoe Patterson.
Oh, Roscoe, man.
See, just even your expression there, right? He's not mentioned enough around. He's a great guy. He's a laugh a minute.
He was a big unit, man. He was tough to play.
And he was tough. He was a tough player. He did some good things in Waterford, some good things back down in Tralee. He's living here with me we're living in Tralee, so we keep in touch when we're allowed to. But and he's a great guy. And
I need the hook up. You need to get me Roscoe. You need to get me Roscoe for the Shot Clock.
Yo, I'm on it. Yo, I'm sending you. You look up his. I'll send you his phone number now when we get off now, and everything. You look him up on Facebook and get him on. He's a laugh.
Oh, definitely.
And he's a great guy.
Rick, listen, thanks for your time. I appreciate it. You stay safe.
Man,
and
you too,
enjoy your
Jared,
time
man.
getting onto your Zoom calls with the kids. Love to the wife. Love to Ryan. Hopefully he's doing well. Love to your daughter. You stay safe, brother, and I'll see you for the Masters.
Listen, take care, man. Be good. Thanks a lot.
Great. Thank you, pal.
Take care, bud.
So that was the Big Rick episode. Look, a gentleman. Love spending time with him. Love chatting with him. Can't wait to play with him again. As I said, just one of those guys that you just want to be around. Get over to our Instagram page and get voting. It's Team Rick versus Team Maguire. Let's see who's staying on the court this week. Get sharing, everybody. Spread the word. And for now, this is Jago saying, see you on the court soon.